Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're talking about the exterior angles of a polygon. I'm trying to scooch myself in as I'm starting this. Exterior angles of a polygon. If you haven't already, make sure to grab your notebook. That is going to be vitally important as we go through this information. All right, let's take a look at this. So for your notebook, first thing we're going to do, exterior angles of a polygon add up to 360. Does it matter if it's a triangle? Absolutely not. Does it matter if it is an octagon? Absolutely not. All of those. Does it matter if it's a 20-agon? None of those are all of those. It does not matter for any of those. All of them add up to 360 degrees for their exterior angles. And you might be thinking to yourself, but how can that be? Because the interior angles are different depending on the number of sides. Well, we're going to talk about, and I'll give you a demonstration on how that is the case. Okay, the other thing that you'll need for your notebook are the measure of one exterior angle of a polygon, which is very close to a polygon, can be found by dividing 360 by the number of sides. So you take 360, divide it by the number of sides, and that will give you the one angle, the one exterior angle. Okay, so let's take a look here. Here is a quick example. Let me back this up a little bit. This is dry erase over here, so I always try and avoid that because looks messy. Okay, so the two formulas that you'll need. Exterior angle of a polygon is 360 divided by n. The sum of exterior angles of a polygon is 360, does not matter the sides. The side or the size, either one of those. So here are two examples that I have for you. You can see this guy is a triangle, and I've extended out each side so that you get a nice longer length so that you can see those exterior angles. Now I've measured each of these angles to say, and when we add those all up, we end up with 360 degrees for both this triangle and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided figure we've got over here. Okay, but just to confirm that, let's talk about this. So I'm going to move this guy out of the way, and we're going to talk about measuring this with our protractor. Okay, so what I've done here is taken that original triangle that I have on my notes here that is fairly easy to draw in your notebook, because again, you should be writing everything down in your notebook so that you have nice notes. This is to emphasize that. Now that we've got that, you need to, this is a bigger one. You don't have to write this part down. I just want to show you using a compass. No, this is a protractor, not a compass. How we would go about doing this. So if you take a look at this, I'm going to lay this flat here. Notice I'm putting the vertex of my angle right here. And then I'm making sure that it lines up nicely with these lines here. You can see, and then I move the paper. That's super helpful. You can see then that it goes right up here. And do you see there's 80 degrees and there's 100 degrees here? But of course we're going to use the 80 because it's less than, or I'm sorry, for this one we're going to use our 100 degrees because it's a little bit more than it's a little bit more than 90 degrees. So let me just double check this here. There we go. So if you look right at that, that's about 100 degrees. Okay, so we have 100 degrees here. Now let's rotate this guy. So if we look at this one and we get that guy right there, okay, so then this one is 135. Oh, so this is 125, 26, and then it looks like 27 right in there. I'm not using between 50 and 60 here because it's greater than 90 degrees. So I need to be using this top one because I'm counting from here all the way over. So you see this is 127 degrees. Okay, now let's take a look at this guy right here and see if we've got this. Okay, from here I'm going to put that vertex right here again. And you'll see that I have about so this one's like it's about 133 if we measure that guy. So we come back around, this one is 133 degrees. And this is slightly different, I'm just noticing, than from what I had drawn out originally. Originally, this had a 101, and then this one was 132. And that's just because the pen is a little bit thicker, so it's kind of hard. You can be off by a degree. But if you add those up, you get 360 degrees. Now, let's try that. So that's a triangle, right? So let's try that now with our 5-sided figure pentagon that we have here. Okay, so looking at this guy, we have, I've started one out here. It says 96 degrees. I think I was just double checking that. And so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna measure this, line those up, and sure enough, this guy is kind of hard to tell, but it does come up to 96 right up there. That's why I think I marked that one, so that we would know. Okay, so this is 90. That was a terrible eraser. Let's pretend I didn't do that. All right, so we get this guy is 96 degrees. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. All right, we're gonna look at this here. And if you take a peek, this one is gonna be less than 90 degrees. So we're gonna start from here and we're measuring up. You'll see that this one goes to about 79 degrees. It's almost 80. So we'll say 79 degrees here for this guy. Actually, let me write this. So, oh wait, that's the pen. I'm gonna use this bit. Okay, so 79 degrees for this one right here. All right. So let's take a look at this one. We put this right here. We've got on this guy, this one goes, again, we're gonna be using the bottom part because we're working our way up this way. So this one is gonna be 65 degrees. You see it goes right in between the 60 and 70. So this guy's gonna be 65 degrees. Okay, let's try this one. All right, so for this guy right here, again, if we put this one right on there, it goes between the 50 and the 60, and it's just about 55 degrees. So I'm trying to keep these upright, but they're going to be all different directions, so my apologies. We can add those together. So when we get to the center here like this, you can see that we're going to be measuring from this direction, so we're going to use the top, and this one looks like it's perfectly 65 degrees. Okay, let's make sure that I did this correctly. What we're gonna do now is grab our calculator, if you can find it. You can never find my calculator. We're gonna add all these up. So we're gonna start with 96 plus 65 plus 55 plus 65 plus 79. And if we add all those, whew, 360 degrees. If you do this on your own, sometimes it's off by like a degree or two, just because, like I said earlier, the thickness of the pen. But you can see now that these two figures, so let me go back to our notes here. You can see those two figures, regardless of how many sides there are, the exterior angles are always gonna add up to 360. If I wanna figure out, if I had like, let's say an 8-sided figure, 8-sided figure, if I have this 8-sided figure and I wanted to figure out, I should call that an octagon, not just an 8-sided figure. I wanted to figure out each individual angle, exterior angle. So that's an octagon. Making sure I spell that right. Octagon. Ugh, that's an A. Okay. All right, this is math and not spelling. I'm so sorry. So what I would do is I would take 360 and I would divide that by 8, and that tells me that each individual angle is 45 degrees. 45 degrees. And that is for a regular octagon. A regular, this, I should say that some of the exterior of a regular polygon. Regular means all the sides are the same. So regular polygon. Sorry, I should have corrected that at the beginning. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, let your teacher know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.